All right, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel here for Thursday, March the 12th. We got so much sports action here today. I don't know where to begin with our card here today. We got a huge NBA card, big NHL card, and there is some college basketball apparently today. So look, we'll have to just kind of take it easy with the college basketball. Let the games maybe speak for themselves, but we got to whittle these teams down a little bit in some of these big conferences. So we'll try to talk a little college basketball, but we got a big slate of games, all the conferences, all the big conferences in quarterfinal action. So just a lot of games, and like I said, we'll let the kind of the games play out, and then we'll start to pick up some of the coverage. I'll still look at a few games today, but maybe we'll let our premium picks do the talking over there, and we'll let you do the talking in the chat. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show as we get ready for the games. Man, I just didn't know where to go, where to start. Oh, look at them. Kind of make this graphic a little prettier here. It's kind of a big graphic, but with so many games today, and there we go. That's how I like it. There we go. That's how I like it here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me here. We'll let some folks come in. We'll talk a little bit about what went down last night in sports betting and see how you guys did and see how the troops did over at Tony'sPicks.com. But again, just a big slate. And how did you do with your sports betting day? Here, I'll cover some of the action anyway, real quick, as we allow folks to get settled in and get started with our coverage. How this works is I go down and preview the games here on all the games we can anyway. And you guys get to comment, and I put your comments on the screen here and make you guys famous. I'll need your help today with all these games, man. Big time action here for Thursday, but again, college basketball kind of taking the precedence. But man, these huge cards of NBA, NHL. So we'll try to preview them as many as we can. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. 3 hours? I don't even know if there's time to recap. But it was a wild day of games, including all the college basketball that we saw there. And we've got other sports coming up here too on a Thursday, including a golf action, big golf tournament here coming up in just a few hours. We've got a tournament here after last week's tournament. We got to keep it rolling here right now with the coverage on Thursday here. We're already underway at the LIV Tour. We saw Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm, Lee Westwood of all people, 4 under par, but we're getting ready for the Players Championship here, and it tees off in just about 4 hours here actually. So got to be ready for the Players today. Tell me who your picks are for the golf coverage. Also, let me talk a little bit here about some of the games from late last night in college basketball. Anyway, here, late night action in case you missed it with some of the games here. It was the Big Sky championship game was won by Idaho 77-66. There's the Vandals advance. They were the higher seed, but they were the favored favored team. They were the 7 seed. Montana was the 4. Idaho was favored. They got the win. They proved the best there. Win the Big Sky there yesterday. Also championship game with Lehigh over BU there. They get it done last night in the Patriot League. Also, Southland Conference McNeese did get that win over Stephen F. Austin there in the Southland to get their tournament bid as well. As championship games were decided there in college basketball. There was also plenty of other action there, but letting the teams just filter out here. We're not going to spend too much time dwelling on the action in college basketball with so many games, but we did have a few premium pick winners. I had a premium pick winner late with San Jose State over Boise State out here in Vegas at the Mountain West. 14-point dogs. Heck, they won by 10 points, did the Spartans, as Boise says goodbye. And also late night scores here. TCU in a wild one, 95-88 over Oklahoma State. NBA, somehow I went under in the Timberwolves Clippers game. Final score and a fight. Also, at the end of the game, they were trying to get the ball for a young player that scored his first basket. Why does this always happen in the NBA? It's a basketball. I guess there's some, you got to have official take the ball or, Wolves were, I don't know what went on, but they tried to get the ball for one of their players. It was 153 to 128, and a little kerfuffle there at the end of the game, and the Timberwolves and the Clippers. But the Clippers, like I said, just watch out on some of these games right now. We talked about that big score there, but the points are piling up here in some of the NBA games right now. Yeah, there was a few unders in there yesterday. And hey, on Night Moves, we did have some winners. Cavaliers and Magic game to go over. We also had the Pelicans here on Night Moves. We had the Knicks and the Jazz game to go over yesterday. We had the Hornets and the Kings to go under. And we had the Denver Nuggets over the Rockets. And we had the Clippers over the Minnesota Timberwolves. The reason why I mentioned that, those winners here on Night Moves, is because there were 6 games and we won them all. So hope that's why one of the reasons you're joining me here on the show tonight. You can go back and watch it if you don't believe me. But I went 6-0 here yesterday with the picks on Night Moves, and you guys helped me out with that there. Wasn't so fortunate in the NHL. I won't even talk about it because we had the total over in both games and we lost. But that's all right. Montreal beat Ottawa and Philadelphia beat Washington. We'll do better today because there's a billion games and we'll get them all right. I've even had to kick a few games to the curb here, shorten up the card just a little bit so we can squeeze in those college basketball games tonight. All right, and everybody filing in here, joining me in the chat. Where's the date banner here? We need that. There we go. Thursday, March 12th. That's where we're at here today. Thank you for joining me in the chat. And we'll probably just get it rolling here right now. No reason not to. I like to do my little roundup here of some of the games, but I just don't know if there's enough time here right now. I guess out of the major headlines, Trey Hendrickson signs with the Ravens after the Max Crosby situation fell through. I don't know if they were going to be going for him without that situation. Maybe they were. Those things take time, but Hendrickson goes to the Ravens as kind of the big signing there on Thursday. The report on Crosby was doctors reviewed his MRI on his left knee and just was concerned with the cartilage wear and tear and his long-term health. So their big picture, according to Ravens GM DaCosta, was to trade for Max Crosby and sign Hendrickson for a bookend defensive lineman. But, man, that seems hard to fathom in today's NFL. But still, there are, talks that the Raiders can try to figure out what's going on with all that salary cap information there and how will they manage that situation. So All right, thanks for joining me here. We'll get going right now with the show. Like I said, there's just no time to waste with a card like this today. But the only other thing I really want to discuss here is the World Baseball Classic. And oh man, the U.S. they ran out of pitching there, uh, but still advance here as Italy rolls again last night over New Mexico, over Mexico, 9-1. Aaron Nola, 5 innings, no runs, and Vinny Pasquantino ready for a big season. 3 home runs for Team Italy. Is Team Italy the long shot that you want to get on here with 20-1? They've got the espresso in the dugout. Will more teams use espresso in the dugout come regular season? Will coffee be the drink of the major leaguers in the dugout? Also, Dominican Republic over Venezuela. Fernando Tatis Jr. another home run, 3-run home run. The DR had 4 home runs, still beat a game Venezuela team. They're 7-3 in that one. So the World Baseball Classic kind of getting wrapped up there in the group play anyway, and ready to move on to the knockout stage. We do know the next matchups here on Friday: Korea, Dominican Republic, United States, and Canada. And then on Saturday, Puerto Rico and Italy, Venezuela, and Japan. So some pretty good matchups out at the World Baseball Classic. And, well, the U.S. can breathe a sigh of relief after the results there. They needed they needed Mexico loss. Well, they didn't need it. They needed Italy to win. That's period. The United States needed Italy to win and get in there. There were some tiebreaker scenarios if the game was kind of low scoring there. Team Mexico, though, their team total had to go under, basically, is what it was. So it'll be, as I mentioned, those matchups. And then if United States, Canada, the winner of that game will take on the winner of Korea and Dominican Republic in one semifinal. These are all going to be in that'll be in Miami. There are 2 games still to be played in Houston, and that's also where the U.S. and Canada are stationed, obviously. Over on the other bracket, the Puerto Rico-Italy winner will take on the Venezuela-Japan winner in those semifinals. So quarterfinals coming up on Friday and Saturday. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining me here on the show. And let's see who's here in the chat ready to go with me today. Tell me what I'm missing. Tell me what else is going on in your world of sports here. I watched last night San Diego FC over Toluca in CONCACAF Champions Cup there. And that was a good game. All right, here we go. It's going to be, and there's Tim. He's ready for Team USA to get it going here. Fish Den, he's got early action for us. Good. We're going to need, you guys just want to put some college basketball picks in there. I have no problem with that because we're only going to be able to have time to cover about a half a dozen games here with these huge cards. So hello to CalDog. Hello to Mr. Weskers. They're talking about the Clippers there last night. Man, they rolled the Timberwolves. I think you got to put the Clippers in the mix a little bit. The way that you can throw out that start. They talked about the bad start for the Clippers. Whatever they were, what were they 6-21, right? So actually, the Clippers surge here in the second half of the season, although they're still not there yet necessarily. I mean, they're going to make the play-in here, but it is somewhat of an historic turnaround for teams that have started 15 games under 500 early in the season. The Clippers have had a kind of a noteworthy turnaround. Doesn't happen frequently. In fact, I think it says the biggest turnaround for teams if they could make the playoffs, or at least record-wise as well here. So, all right, Fish Den, he's still coming at it with more picks there. Mr. Wesker says Curry returning soon. Actually, I think that might be a positive here, but right now. It is in the news that he will be returning soon. He'll be returning now in 5 more games. It's actually not returning soon. It's been determined that Curry will be sitting out another 5 games with the knee injury here, unfortunately, and this is bad timing for these Warriors. So, all right, let's see here. Got all your comments in there. And Mr. Whisker's still holding a grudge against Zach Gallen. All right. Can't wait for baseball season. I think we saw some great excitement. We just got to get going here with the start of the show. And the previews, I'm sorry, it might not be very long because of so many games, but let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and just see who was hot yesterday. Before we get going here, got to plug our fellow cappers here. I couldn't find a prop again here. Glad I still have a show, but oh man, did have a few winners there yesterday, but I really need to pick it up here right now with tournament season. But take a look at the handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off their premium pick packages. It was Brian Bittler 3-0 yesterday there, leading the way. Ron Crawford. Saw him on the drive-through yesterday. If you're not checking out the drive-through every day, the drive-through's back, and it's right here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. You want some late action? Tune in. 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Capper will bring you their top free play of the day, and then tease their premium pick packages for the night. So you want to tune into the drive-through every day. Tony T and a panel of handicappers. Bo Dunn was also there today. He went 3-1. Shane Mickle 3-1. Ron Hahn won his only play. Mills Young won his only play. DeAndre Stevenson, they won their only plays. Hey, you only need one. There, Joey Tron also 1-0. Tony T went 2-1. So, hey, there might have been 75 games to choose from, but if you could win just one a day, that's what you got to do and get that money home. So, if it were only so easy, I'd probably do it myself. Last 7 days, Justin McKelvey stacks on top there, over 7 3/4 units. Brian Bittler 7 1/3 units. Shane Mickle 5 3/4 units. Stephen Duncan 3.5 units over last week. Mills Young 3.5 units over last week. Kevin Thomas 3.5 units. Tom Regard, he's making his appearances on the drive-through. He was up 3 units over the last 7 days. Solo Malone's up a couple of units. Joey Tron, Nick Lagarentos, and Tony T showing profit there. Who's not there? It's Ramon, but oh well, at least I'm here with you guys. Last month here, Stephen Duncan up 11.5 units. Mills Young up 11.5 units. Shane Mickle 8.5 units. Brian Bittler nearly 5.5 units. Tony T up 3 1/4 units over the last 30 days. Over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off all premium pick packages. Just click on the All Cappers tab. Find the handicapper of your choice. I know where I'm at. I've been on the bottom here for about 3 days. Not liking that, but check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. I'm still showing one of my losers. I'll say it right here. I had Novak Djokovic in that incredible match tonight. How about that incredible point that the guys had? Joker's always good for a massive rally there, and Draper won it though in the third set tiebreaker, as I had Djokovic in the match as a favorite there, but Draper gets the win, knocks out Djokovic in Indian Wells. Great matches again today at Indian Wells on the men's and women's side, including Canadian hotshot Vicky Mboko going up against Sabalenka here tomorrow. Yannick Sinner's in action, but close matches include Draper and Medvedev, Jesse Pegula and Elena Rybakina on the ladies' side. Some of the action at Indian Wells. So I had some winners, but yeah, definitely had a couple of L's there. There's my card here. I had San Jose State plus a point. Somehow I had the under in that Clippers game. I had a winner with Jackson State and Florida State under there, 142 there in that one. And just got to get some winners going here. So I need your help. All right, let's get to the card here. Let's start. So get rid of that over there. And good for the guys to keep us going here right now. Let's go to the action here in NBA. We're going to start with the NBA. Let's just go to it and get right to the action here with this massive card. Man, we're going to be here 3 hours. We'll be here when they start the golf tournament, it feels like. We'll go fast. I know you guys are, the time is important as well. All right, Phoenix here will start it off, taking on the lowly Indiana Pacers in this one. Phoenix comes in with 3 consecutive wins over New Orleans, Charlotte, and Milwaukee here. Phoenix has been a consistent spread winner this season. They're 20-12 against the spread as a favorite. Indiana, we know they've been not only struggling right now, they cannot even, if there is an official tankathon team, it's got to be the Indiana Pacers right now. These guys can't even get out of their own way here at this point. Not only are they not winning, they haven't covered in forever right now. And I don't know, it seems like it'd be hard for them to cover it here either, or any game. The way things are going, they've failed to cover now in 10. They've lost 10 straight. They've failed to cover in 10 straight. Why would you take them here at this point? Do I really need to go any further in this one? Maybe this is the one. Maybe I don't know if the point spread's gotten high enough here with the right, with the Indiana Pacers at this point. I mean, it's just got to be a straight fade no matter how you look at it. Maybe today's the day for them, but I can't do it. Not with an 0-10 spread streak. I mean, we're not talking wins and losses here. We're talking ATS. So why are they going to do it here right now? I'm not even going to go much farther into this. They did play back in November in their other meeting. Phoenix won it 133-98, covering 3.5 points at home and a 35-point win. Now, that was before the tankathon here, but you look at how much Indiana's lost some of these games. They've lost to bad teams, too. Sacramento and Portland here of late. So just give me the Phoenix Suns here. Not much to talk about. If anybody wants to take Indiana, I won't blame them. I won't make fun of them in the chat. Hey, like I said, this probably has got to be the one, but Cal Dog's on the Suns here. And Mr. Westcott says maybe the jig is up a little bit for Phoenix because they've been so good here, right? They're 19-11 against the spread on the road, 13 games over 500 against the spread overall, and they've covered 2 in a row here with wins over Milwaukee and Charlotte. They've actually won 3 in a row. Phoenix has won 5 of their last 6. They're 4-2 against the spread in their last 6, 8-4 straight up in their last 12 against Indiana. 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone under, but again, it's just really tough to find the spot where you think it might be an under right now, because some of these games are starting to pile up the points. Indiana's gone over in 7 of their last 9 games right now. Phoenix is definitely trending under here of late, and they are 13-15 to the under as a favorite. But let's just take the Suns here and don't worry about the total right now. Again, I got tried to think the Clippers would do their Clipper thing, but they went off. Kawhi went off again. All right, let's keep it going here right now. We got to look at the Wizards taking on the Magic. Yeah, the Wizards are toast. We know that. We got to keep an eye on the Orlando Magic in terms of the playoff chase here right now with the Magic. And again, we're just, for some of these teams, we're just jostling for position here. The Magic have found themselves all the way up here into 5th place. I believe they own the tiebreaker right now over the Miami Heat. Again, this group of teams really just jostling for position. I mean, we pretty much have drawn the line at the play-in portion of the tournament here right now. Wizards coming in here with a dismal record. Orlando is 36-28 overall. Orlando's on a winning streak, and the Wizards are in the tankathon. Orlando has won 5 straight, covered 4 of their last 5. The Washington's lost 9 straight. They're 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. This is how this is going here. Some of these teams, yes, have shown life. Washington isn't one of them. They failed to cover in 4 straight. Orlando has covered 3 straight games here into this one. Despite some of the, they played some good teams. They played some bad teams. They played Washington just 9 days ago, and they beat them 126-109 as a 16-point favorite. Got the money at Washington. So is Washington getting enough here at 14.5? I don't know, but I'm taking the Magic here in the tankathon in this one. Give me the Magic minus 14.5. That's all I can do. All right, here we go. And hey, I'm the one that went 8-0 here. Sorry, 6-0 yesterday on the show. So Greg had a great day too, though. And I figure with some of these spreads, why did I pick the premiums as the free plays here on the show? All right, let's see here. Mr. Wesker's liking the Magic there. He had them earlier. Yeah, don't forget, yeah, they're on the back-to-back there. We had them there in the win against Cleveland there, obviously, yesterday. Is that the one I had? Oh, no, I had the total over here. No. I'm trying to see. I had Magic and the over. So, all right. Mr. Cal Dog, let's see here. Cal Dog's on the over. And Mr. Westbrook says that's certainly a lot for the Magic here. But again, I think the Wizards are in the tankathon, and I'll take Orlando here to roll. All right, we're going to keep it moving here. Night moves and go to the next one here. Like I said, we're not going to do a total breakdown right now. Philadelphia taking on Detroit here, and look, two good teams that are going to be heading to the postseason for sure. And with this one, the Sixers are bumped. They're the team that's tumbling here, as kind of predicted, right? And they've fallen down kind of to 8th place right now. Look, they're in. They're in the play-in. And remember what I said about the play-in. You really want to be at least in 7th or 8th. I've been preaching it here for the last 2 months because the 9 and the 10, really, they never go through. Trying to recall the stats. I'll get them for you here, but ever since the play-in's been going on, it really got to be at least in 8th place to even have a chance. I believe the percentage is almost reflective of the positioning. Like 10 has no chance, 9 barely has a chance, 8's got a shot, and 7, has a shot as well. So then you want to get in there and get in that top 8 if you can. All right, Detroit finally snapped their losing streak. Last time out, they beat Brooklyn there a couple nights ago, 138-100. Maybe a little revenge there in that one for the Detroit Pistons. For Philadelphia, meanwhile, they are coming in off of a win over Memphis, 139-129. Philadelphia continues to be a decent team on the road, 20-10 against the spread. It's kind of the thing they've done here well, despite tumbling in the standings here. And again, it's basically because that they've had some injuries here with Embiid trying to get back right now, but having a tough time currently. So if anything, if you had we didn't look at the injury report in those other games, but here you still have Embiid out and Maxey is out, and it's not good. The news wasn't good we got today that Maxey is going to miss extended time with that broken finger, I guess it is. So that is a bit of a factor here for Philadelphia, and awkward timing for sure. LeVert is doubtful here, but it does look like a pretty positive situation for Detroit. It's just a matter of are they laying too much here still to a team against Philadelphia who are missing such stars, I think, here in this matchup. So, all right, let's maybe hear from you in the chat with this one, and we'll take a look and see what you have tonight with the game between Philadelphia and Detroit here right now. Let's go to the chat in this one, then I'll make my pick here. All right. And, nothing. Okay, nothing from the chat in this one. Oh, I agree, chat. This one's pretty tough, given the circumstances, I guess, here with the game because of what we know about Philly's status here right now. These two teams did meet back in November. Detroit won twice, 111-108 at Philly, and they also won 114-105 at home. So Detroit has won both meetings so far this season. Detroit is just 1-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 5. They've definitely had some issues here, but they've taken advantage of a Philadelphia team that has lost 4 of its last 6, 1-4-1 against the spread in those 6 games. Philadelphia is 9-4 against the spread their last 13 against Detroit, but Detroit might be looking for a confidence building victory, at least here in this one. Detroit currently 3.5 games ahead of Boston. That works here right now. And like I said, Philadelphia, they're going to be able to hang on here and get into the postseason, but it's just a matter of where they're going to be in that, probably in the play-in tournament, because they've been going downhill right now. So, all right, I'll go ahead and take the Detroit Pistons here right now as my play. I'll think that they'd like to get one off their shoulders here after that dismal run. They did just win over Brooklyn by 38 points, and I'm going to try Detroit here over Philly in this one. Detroit is just 23 and 29 against the spread, but we'll see what kind of lineup the Philadelphia 76ers end up having to put out there on Thursday night, given the injury situation with the teams here right now. I guess they'd have to be going with Barlow in there, and I'm sure Bona. But I think Bona also might be on the injured list too here, at least on the report. No, he is cleared of the report. So Keyshawn George is out. Bub Carrington is questionable. Wrong game. Wrong game. Let me see. Bona is on that report. Sorry about that, gang. Bona is questionable. Oubre is out there for Philly. Okay, so I'll take Detroit here. All right, next up. There we go. Then we got, okay, we did get Pistons first half. Thank you. I wanted to see if we can get a pick in there. Mr. Wesker says Sixers have been melting down all year. All right, next up. Hey, the Bucks are at the Heat here in this one with the Bucks on the road. They're a 6-point dog against the hot Heat here, dare I say. Miami on that winning streak. They found their way here all of a sudden with a great push. Currently, winning streak coming in here. They're moving up the charts too. The Magic and the Heat, like we said, they're going up. And some of these other teams are coming down. So the Raptors have actually fallen down into 7th place. Remember, they were in 5th place there for a while. Milwaukee's lost a couple in a row here right now to Orlando and Phoenix. They're having trouble covering the spread here of late, just going 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. Milwaukee has covered 6 straight meetings against the Miami Heat, but they are 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games overall, straight up and against the spread, actually. Miami, meanwhile, is 1-covered 6 straight here in this situation. So, look, I don't know, 6 points here between these two. It does feel like, one's going one direction, one's going the other. Yes, the Bucks are trying to chase down those teams for the playoff, but I'm ready to draw. If they were playing someone, but we're below them in record-wise, I wouldn't even preview the game. The Bucks have been going down, spiraling downward here. They are 20-20 ATS as an underdog, but that's about all the promise that they've really shown. Miami is 20-13 against the spread at home. They're a good home favorite, actually. So I'm going to probably just take another favorite here in this one, but let's see what you guys have here. Man, am I going to find a total tonight? Here, or am I just going to stay with the tankathon teams right now? Look, I think this was another one. We saw what Bam Adebayo did in that last game. Now, he's not going to score 83 points here, especially given the fact that, the Bucks, you thought maybe when Giannis came back that would help this team. It really has not been a big factor right now. And, well, at least maybe Bam will score 83 points with Giannis in there, and we wondered if Giannis kind of brings down the team if he's in there more than help it. Sims is questionable, Portis is questionable, Porter Jr. questionable for the Bucks. Normie Powell, he's still out for the Heat here right now. They're missing some other guys probably here. Wiggins is out. Jovic is out. Hero questionable. Ware is questionable. So, yeah, you got some guys here on the list for Miami right now. But, again, they're not failing to cover against anybody here. And the Bucks did beat them last time they met about a month ago here. 3 weeks ago, 128-117. Milwaukee got the win at home. I'm going to take the Miami Heat here to win and crush tonight over. Man, I'm just give me all the favorites, I guess, here in the NBA. Some underdogs got to win. Let's try to find one here. All right, here's a couple of picks from the chat. You got Fish Den going over here. Mr. Wesker says this ain't the spot. Fish Den may be on the Heat, and Cal Dogs on the Heat here. But yeah, you got one team going. The Heat making a big push here. Maybe they have aspirations to even get a little bit higher here in the standings right now. The Heat, like I said, in sixth place. They're actually a game back of the loss column to the Magic, and that's the difference between the two. It's in a win percentage here right now. But the Magic have won 5 in a row. The Heat have won 6 in a row. The Hawks have won 7 in a row. The Hornets, we know how hot they've been. Yeah, they had a loss there the other day, but they came back and they've won a couple of games right now as well. So just a real interesting scenario there in the Eastern Conference. We're going to keep it going in the Eastern Conference here right now and talk about one of those hot teams in the Atlanta Hawks. They're taking on the Brooklyn Nets here. The Hawks are favored by 13.5 here in this one, total 226. And like I said, the Hawks, 7 consecutive wins for this team. They're currently, in the play-in. They're, like I said, trying to get, maybe they could get to 8th. They could pass the Sixers, I would think, eventually, the way things are going. Maybe even the Raptors here. But right now they are 1 game ahead of the Hornets for the in 9th place. Hornets are in 10th. We know how hot those teams are. Atlanta comes in here right now with 7 consecutive wins. They've covered their 6 straight at home. They've covered all 7 of those wins. Again, that's just a sign of what this tankathon and this end of the season, right? It's not a fluke that these teams are covering all these games, right? You don't see teams rolling off 7, 8 consecutive covers in the middle of the season. Sure, you're going to get outliers, and one team will be hot and maybe another one. But when you have 3, 4, 5 teams not only winning all their games but covering, and then you have the same thing going the other direction, that's the problem in the league right now. Brooklyn comes in having won just 2 of their last 11 games overall, and they're 3-10 against the spread in their last 13. Now, Brooklyn is 9-2 against the Hawks, against the Hawks against the spread in their last 11 games. That is certainly something to consider here. Anyway, just given the circumstances, right? Look, if we're trying to find one team to do it, Brooklyn's had a few covers here of late. I don't know if they're a tankathon for sure, but they beat Memphis and they beat Detroit, even though Detroit came back and kind of nipped them there. Still, Brooklyn just 25-35 against the spread as an underdog. So let's hear from you if you want in the chat. In this one, Atlanta's gone under in 7 of their last 10. Brooklyn's gone over in 6 of their last 9 games. Coming into this one, the 2 teams did play back on February 22nd, and Atlanta got the win 115-104. They did get the money there. So even though, like I said, Brooklyn has gotten the money in 9 of the last 11, Atlanta's actually gotten the money in 2 of the last 3 overall here. One of them was last season, but here this season they've split the 2. Atlanta won them both. Atlanta won in Brooklyn 117-112 in an early season meeting, but they did not cover 6.5. So the Nets are showing a little bit of life here, but well, let's just see how you have it in the chat right now. And I'll make a call here. It feels awkward going with every single favorite here. That there's got to be a dog out there. Let's see what we got. And Fish Den said Bam might score 100 there. They'd have to foul him 50 times there, I think, though, too. Mr. Weskers, he's going to take the Hawks. Cal Dog says, Ramon, wake up. This thing's up to 14 points here right now. Let me do it. Cal Dog, you're right. Here, that's another 14.5 here. Wow. All right, and the total here, 226.5. There we go. Thank you, Cal Dog. Yeah, how about that? I was putting these in while watching some uh, uh, NCAA tournament action tonight, watching that Clipper game. So, all right, let's see what the chat has in this one. I think Cal Dog might be on the over. Mr. Wesker's going to play the Hawks. Brooklyn plus the points or nothing for Fishden says just going up a little bit too much. Even the Nets might be able to wake up here. And let's see. Cal Dog says take the Nets and the points here in this one. All right. This one's a little bit dicey here right now, but you gotta admit the Hawks are rolling here, and this is the tankathon. So give me the tankathon. I'll lay more points here. I'm gonna end up laying. Let's see. There's 9 games. I might end up laying over 110 points in this card. The way it's going so far. Look, there is no good reason for anyone to ever be laying. Let me see here. 28, 30. 36, 42. I'm already laying 57.5 points here with the first 5 games. I mean, who wants to do that? Oh, man. It's going to fire me from this show. But, you still only have to win more than half. Technically, we say it like that. We want to win our 52.38%, want to win our 56.5% here on the channel. But, you only got a 9-game card. I guess 5 and 4 would at least get you to break even. All right, can it happen here? Net and Cal Dog, you did take the Nets. Let's just keep it going here. Let's try to find a close game today. There are some very interesting games. One of them that's not very interesting, we're going to skip over, believe it or not, here with the Mavericks and the Grizzlies. They did not make the cut. Let's go to the Nuggets taking on the Spurs in a hot matchup here with the Spurs favored. Now we're getting to some decisions here. Maybe in this one, you got the Nuggets here definitely battling for position right now with those teams. We mentioned the teams that are in from 3rd place to 7th place are all separated by 2 games. The Nuggets are in 5th place. There's nothing to stop some of these teams from working their way up. It's going to be hard to catch the Thunder and the Spurs. The Spurs are 2.5 games back of the Thunder. Those 2 teams. And are they serious about the number 1 seed here? You got the Thunder has won 6 in a row. The Spurs have won 5 in a row. So there's no stopping them here. The Nuggets do have a couple losses here of late. They lost to the Knicks. They lost to OKC before they blasted Houston there last night. Like I said, we were on the Nuggets here there with that one on Night Moves. So let's see what happens, though, this time, man. These guys are both teams good, solid covers this season. The Nuggets, too. I mean, the Nuggets are 22-13. ATS on the road, 16-7. ATS as an underdog. Spurs, meanwhile, 18-12 against the spread at home, 37-27 against the spread overall. And don't forget, yesterday the Nuggets are on a back-to-back. Just played against Houston there at home. Now it's not a far trip, but they got to play on the road against elite San Antonio here. So San Antonio's won 9 straight games at home. They've covered 4 of their last 5 overall. Denver is just 1-4 straight up, 1-5 against the spread against the San Antonio Spurs in the last 6 meetings. This year so far, the teams have met only once, so we're going to see these guys play again. San Antonio won at 139-136 as a dog at Denver here. So can Denver on a back-to-back here? I don't want to feel like I just got to take a dog just to take a dog because, the Spurs are hot. And maybe, just maybe the Nuggets, they're like, hey, we got the road win. We know playing those Spurs are tough. They're certainly motivated here. Wemby is questionable in this game. That should be something to keep an eye on. He does have an ankle turn. Here, Waters is questionable. Barnes is questionable. Watson has been out there for the Nuggets, but really that's all they show on their injury report. So another, at least some intrigue here with the game, just because of the fact that we've seen obviously Denver playing pretty well here, even in the loss to Oklahoma City. The other night, they did cover in a 129-126 loss, getting 3.5 there, although they were rested in that game. And so does that make the difference here? The Spurs, they just beat Boston, remember, the other night, and they beat Houston before that at home, 145-120. You could equate Houston to Denver right now, at least if you look at it, in the standings anyway, right? So you want to take the Spurs again here? All right. San Antonio is 21-27 to the under as a favorite. San Antonio has been a little bit of an under team. It does feel like this one might have a little bit more intensity here, but 236. What's going on here? Denver 25-10 to the over on the road. Denver's gone over in 9 straight road games. Oh my goodness. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Is it too high? Let's hear from you in the chat. These are interesting games. All right, here we go. Cal Dog's the only one here. He says he's going to take the Spurs. He's going to buy them down a little bit. Cal Dog likes to buy about 1.5 usually, so maybe -3 here for the Spurs here in this one. I'm going to take the under here in this one and say that they've just got it a little bit too high. There's no doubt. Man, like I said, that is an incredible stat if you think about it right now because of the way Denver's playing and what their goals are. But just to see that Denver has gone over in 9 straight road games here, wow. But I'll go under in this one here on Night Moves. And I don't want to go under in too many games here, it feels like at this point in the NBA. But at 236, I'll try it. But, man, it's going to be certainly close to that number, especially the fact that, these guys played to 275 earlier this season. But we'll see how it goes down. All right, man. Very interesting. You want interesting? I got an interesting game for you here. Let's talk about 2 top-rated contenders here with Boston and OKC. This is the Amazon Prime game of the night. And you've got the Thunder. They're on the winning streak here. Boston certainly has done well, and their story is all, to me, right now about Tatum being back in the lineup and where they stand currently in the chase here right now, trying to catch the Pistons, I guess. The Knicks are only 2 games back of the Celtics. It might almost be just as important to try to hold the Knicks off here right now. Boston is coming in off of a loss to San Antonio, 125-116 on the road here. So look at this road trip here. They did beat Cleveland, then they played San Antonio on the road and did get beat. The funny thing about this Oklahoma City team, though, in this winning streak that they're on right now, talking about the 5-game winning streak here currently for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're 0-5 against the spread. They're 0-5 against the spread right now. So can you imagine that, considering what's going on with some of the teams that are winning and covering, right? Is that a reflection of what's going on, too, in the terms of the late season games and where teams are standing and the winning streaks? Is there something about the winning streak of the Oklahoma City Thunder that they're just playing well enough to win the game and not cover? Man, that's funny. If anything, Boston 22-12 against the spread on the road, 11-7 against the spread as an underdog. OKC 15-19 against the spread at home. Subpar covering numbers, and Boston still a very good cover here right now. These 2 teams have not yet met this season, so they're going to meet one more time here back in Boston. Boston is just 1-8 against the spread against Oklahoma City. How more peculiar can this get right now? Uh, Oklahoma and Boston have gone over in 8 of their last 9 meetings here, but if any game, you like I said, you've got a lot of games here with high totals. The 2 games that are kind of the low totals, right? Philadelphia and Detroit, Boston and OKC here, kind of low. Those are low totals, considering the way we're seeing the scoring right now. So this one does feel like we're going to see some effort from these teams here tonight. But Boston still covered 9 of their last 12 overall. Just peculiar that they have not been able to cover any games really against Oklahoma City. The only time Boston has covered against Oklahoma City basically in the last 5 years was back in April of 24. Boston won at home 135-100 as a 12-point favorite. Let's see what you got. Man, very interesting. All right, here we go. Fish Den likes the under in this one. He's got a little parlay with it there. Cal Dog says, take the Celtics. And Andrew says the Celtics will be able to catch here. He likes them to catch the Detroit Pistons here and get that number 1 seed. So, look, I think I'm going to kind of throw out the trend here right now because, like I said, the Thunder just are not covering their games as well. And I think the series history of the two is kind of the one you'd kind of maybe just back off a little bit and go right with the in-season trends, especially given the circumstances of the late season streakiness here, if you will. So I agree. I'm going to take the Boston Celtics plus the points here against Oklahoma City in this one. It would be appropriate to peek at the injury report here. Tatum actually, is questionable here. That would be a pretty big factor, obviously. Derek White is questionable. That knee is bothering him for sure. Vucevic is out. Pritchard is probable. But for Oklahoma City, Chet is probable here. Let's see. Also, Hartenstein, though, out. And Brandon Carlson is questionable. So, hey, it's a good game for sure right there. But, both teams are in, so there's always a chance that, team could have an off night and get blown out, but still got to roll with the Celtics right now with the Thunder, that incredible streak of winning every game here over the last 6 games, but yet not able to cover. That's incredible. 6-0 straight up, 0-6 against the spread. I will say this, they were laying some big points in there, but the game against Denver was only 3.5. The game against the Knicks 4.5. So they won and didn't cover the tight games also. All right, we've done a nice job here. Get quick timing here with the card, but just so much intrigue. Okay, the Lakers are not favored by 105 points, although maybe they should be. It's funny that the Lakers, we talked about it there yesterday, especially, because I said that when Luka and LeBron are on the court together, that they do have some really standout numbers that would kind of belie what people think about these guys when they play together. But on the contrary, like we said, the Lakers are 10-2 without LeBron in the lineup. So we'll see today. Now, look, he's kind of just, injury management a little bit. It feels like it is a hip injury for LeBron. He is questionable in this one. Marcus Smart is doubtful. Kleber, questionable. Jackson Hayes, questionable. But for the Bulls here, they've got a bit of a laundry list here. Yabusele, questionable. Okoro, questionable. Patrick Williams, questionable. Sexton, questionable. Simons is out as well. So the Bulls have their own set of problems here. They're 11-point underdogs in this one. The total is up here to 234. We've seen some of these uh, totals here right now. I mean, if you see a move like this, you almost better just jump on it now. It feels like uh, both teams are going under here big time of late, but the matchup may not reflect what might be expected here. Like I said, the move is clearly to the over here. 8 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams have gone over, but Chicago's gone under in 7 of 8, and the Lakers have gone under in 5 of 6. The Lakers are 6-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 7 games. Chicago just 3-13 straight up in their last 16, but 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. I mean, we kind of left Chicago for dead for sure, but they have covered a few games of late. I think if they had to be realistic and looked at the standings, they'd see that they're 6 games back of the play-in. Right now, so maybe they think there's some signs of life in there. The Lakers, if uh, you know LeBron and Luca are in there. Hopefully, Luca's not. Was reading some story about Luca's divorce, and maybe he's going to take it out on the rest of the season, or maybe he's bummed about having to share his money. I don't know, but let's see what you have here in this one between the Bulls and the Lakers. And again, these teams are kind of going under, but when you see a move like that overnight, you almost think it's going to be a higher scoring game. The Lakers won the first meeting in Chicago, 128 to 118. They were able to get the money. It did go over in that game, so I'll take the over here. I don't have enough totals. I'll take the over in this one with the Bulls and the Lakers. I won't get burned like that Clipper game, I think, last night. But no doubt these two are putting up some unders here of late. Maybe the numbers are a little too high, but I'll try the over in this one with the Bulls and the Lakers. And some comments in the chat as well here, I think. Hello to Andrew K. Says, when LeBron's in street clothes, the Lakers get it done. Also, Timmy might be on the under here. And Cal Dog's on the under. Want to say hello to Yusuf Kashab in the chat. Good to have Yusuf here today. Hey, Richie Rich is stopping by. He says the Lakers play better without LeBron in the lineup. The record would say that they do. That's just, I think, the bizarre thing about that here, right? But still, like I said, the statistics say, and I'm just talking about the metrics of the scoring prowess and the overall offensive production when those two guys are in the lineup together, it is off the charts. It's just that we know the defense lacks a little bit sometimes when the combo is in there. All right. Yusuf said, did he like the Suns? Yeah, we took the Suns today to roll over the Pacers. I want to say hello to Moon Man. Moon is here. He's got the over with me in the Laker game. All right. I think that's it for the NBA, you guys. And with this busy schedule, we can't spend too much time on it, but good to get all those games in here right now. Here. Okay, look, we're going to go to the college scene today, and I've only got 5 games on this card because there's a huge NHL card. And again, I think in the colleges right now, we are into the conference tournament, mostly quarterfinals here. So we've got a few days where these guys are going to sort things out here, and we'll be previewing the better teams going on. I hope it's not too short of a card for you guys here, but I've mostly just picked late session games here on Thursday. So we're just going to preview a handful of games. I love college basketball, and we have been here all season long, previewed many teams many times, but we're going to look at late after, just the best games from the late session here of the card. So let's get it going here right now and take a look. Again, most of these are going to be night games from tomorrow's card. There's a big day slate. I get that. We'll whittle it down over the next couple of days, but pretty much every conference, you're looking at the 4 games at each site here. So enjoy those, and hopefully, if you want to throw your picks in there, that's fine. I'm going to start with the late card, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, with BYU and Houston here in Big 12 action. We're in Kansas City for the Big 12 here. Both teams come in here riding 3-game winning streaks. BYU's the 10 seed. Houston is the number 2 seed coming into this one. Earlier matchups here in Kansas City, Iowa State and Texas Tech, Central Florida and Arizona. The late matchup is TCU and Kansas. We do have that one previewed. Like I said, we're previewing major conferences, top games here. That's what we're doing. All right. Hopefully that's okay. But let's get into this one with Houston. Like I said, they're on a 3-game winning streak right now with wins over Colorado, Baylor, and Oklahoma State to close out the season. Their ATS, they look like a stoplight with those, with 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 push. But Houston is 11-13 against the spread as a favorite. BYU 3-5 against the spread as an underdog here. These two teams did meet just one time this season, and it was Houston winning in Provo 77-66 as a 1.5 point favorite in that one. Houston was able to get the road win between the two teams in that game. For BYU here, they have consecutive wins and covers to end the season over Texas Tech, Kansas State, and West Virginia. Now, big picture here for BYU, we know that, they've lost one of their key players already this season. And if anything, it did seem to affect their performance on the court overall, right? Look, we know they've got one of the best players in the country in AJ Devansa, and he might have even got stiffed there a little bit at the awards window, it feels like, what everybody's talking about anyway. But still here, pretty big underdog in the matchup here, considering that they're starting to play pretty well right now. Now, like I said, Houston did get the win and cover at BYU earlier. We know Houston can be very, very tough and very, very good kind of in this role. But let's see if what you guys think in this one with the BYU and Houston here at 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific time here in Kansas City. BYU is just 6-12 against the spread in their last 18 games overall, and they're just 1-7 straight up against the Cougars in the last 8 meetings, and 1-6 against the spread overall. So this team does give them a problem. However, Houston is just 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. That despite the fact they've won 16 of 20, they're usually just favored by too many points. Houston has gone under in 8 of their last 11 games. They're 10-15 to the under as a favorite. BYU mostly trends a little bit over, 18-14 this season. However, as an underdog, just 4 overs and 4 unders for BYU. So we're in Kansas City. We're not in Provo. So let's see what you guys have though in the chat in this one between BYU and Houston. With with Houston, considerable favorite. In fact, let me look at this. I think it's actually gone up to 9.5 in this matchup right now. Let me see here. Yeah, looks like it, right? 9.5 or so. I think we got to update that. 9.5, 147.5 there. Maybe it's 9. Let's see here. I'll call it 9. I still see some 8.5s. I also see a 9.5 out there. So you can find what you need here, it feels like right now. But I'm just going to take the under in this one. I think right now with the kind of Houston dictating the pace. Like I said, BYU's kind of trending over, but when they're an underdog, it's a little more of a 50-50 proposition. So Man, I like a lot of unders in college tournament action right now. It just seems like a pattern for me here. Maybe I like the overs in the NBA, but I think in the tournament scene, I got to go under here in this one. This one opened 150.5 already, down to 147. So I'll go ahead and try the under here in this one. Let's see if the chat has anything here. Cal Dog is on the over, though. Cal Dog also has Houston in the first half, and Timmy does like the under with me. All right, we're going to continue on in late action here, and I'm going to go next to the Mountain West and take a look at my San Diego State Aztecs here. They're 5.5-point favorites against Colorado State. Well, I could break it down for you and give you a few trends and a few tidbits. I could also just say that before the tournament started and before we even knew the seeding, I took Colorado State at 7-1 to win this tournament. I guess I'm on Colorado State here. I guess I'm on Colorado State. I don't think I have a choice here. Did take them to win this tournament here, so I'm going to go ahead and make my pick on Colorado State. I'll give a few notes here and a few tidbits right now about this matchup. Colorado State's been a pretty solid cover here. They're 18-12 against the spread this season, 7-5 against the spread overall, or as an underdog. San Diego State is 12-10 against the spread as a favorite here. Look, this is usually the San Diego State Invitational. They haven't won all the conference tournaments here, but they're going to need to this time if they want to keep their streak alive of going to the NCAA tournament. I think they are going to be out if they lose, unfortunately, if they lose this game. They are in the first four out right now, so they really do need this win bad. But like I said, I like the way Colorado State was playing down the stretch, and they were 20-11 straight up. San Diego State 20-10 straight up. It's a real intriguing matchup. Even though San Diego State is the number 2 seed, Colorado State is the number 7 seed overall. Colorado State won the regular season meeting at home, 83-74 is a 3.5-point dog. San Diego State won and covered at home 73-50 back in January. Colorado State is 17-13 to the over, but just 6 overs and 6 unders as an underdog here. Colorado State's gone over in 7 of their last 9. San Diego State has gone over in 5 straight, and let's see here. 8 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone under. So I'm on Colorado State. Like I said, I took them to win this tournament. I think, 7-1 looked like a good price. I think they're playing well enough, and I think this tournament is kind of wide open. I thought Colorado State was playing pretty well there down the stretch with wins over Fresno, San Jose. They beat Fresno twice. Ironically, didn't cover as favorites in either of those games, but they did beat one and covered on the road at San Jose, one and covered in the pit, which I don't know, isn't really saying much. The New Mexico did lose a few home games here down the stretch at the pit, but okay, let's see if there's anybody in the chat here. I'm getting ready right now here. Let me go for the chat and I'll let you know what's going on here. Let's see. Cal Dog here, he does like Colorado State plus those points. Look, I'm taking the points too, so I guess if Colorado State does get knocked out and I lose my wager on the futures bet, they could still cover this spread and get some win for me there. Timmy Two Shoes liking the points here as well in this one. All right, we'll preview another couple of games here. I'm waiting right now. Hey, anybody up for some live betting action here right now in the middle of the night? We're getting ready here for a game coming up in Aussie Rules football. Is anybody down with some action here in the AFL tonight? Richmond is going to be taking on Carleton here. Carleton is favored by 20 points, and the total here is 171. in this matchup. Richmond and Carleton here coming up, a little AFL action if anybody wants to roll with me here in this one. And you know what? I'm going to end up taking the Carleton Blues here. I'm going to lay 20.5 points. We're early on in the season here. We're just getting the season started actually right now. So see what you think though. Maybe if you like I said, what's the over under 171 here in this one? I would have to go under. I'm going to have to go under. So I'm going to take Carleton minus 20.5, and I'm going to go under 171.5 for my pick if you're interested in doing a little. It's going to be on here, I believe, on Fox Soccer Plus here at the bottom of the hour here with Carleton and Richmond live Aussie Rules football. If you want to roll with some action here while we go over the picks here in the NHL coming up. But I got a few more college basketball games right now. Let's keep it rolling with, let's go to the ACC, with Clemson taking on North Carolina here. ACC action. Good game, good matchup here for sure with Pick'em. All right. And let's see what you think of this one here in the ACC on Thursday night. Man, I've got so many sheets. I don't know what to do with them all. Okay, this is the final game of the night. They're playing in Charlotte. So, yeah, maybe a North Carolina crowd. We know Clemson will bring some folks too here. Total 140.5 or so in this one. Carolina the 4 seed, Clemson the 5 seed. Other matchups in the ACC include NC State and Virginia getting it going early, Louisville and Miami, Florida State and Duke here in the ACC. We know that action there got underway with those first round matchups here on Wednesday, and we did see NC State dust off Pittsburgh there for sure. We saw Louisville over SMU. We did have the winner here on Night Moves, remember, in that game on the under yesterday. And we also had the winner in the Wake Forest Clemson game under yesterday here on Night Moves as well. And it was Florida State dumping Cal there. They got the money there in that one. So, all right, Carolina was pretty hot, but they did lose their last game here to Duke, of course, 76-61. They got the money. They were a big underdog. I had Carolina plus the points in that one. So, no problem. Lost to big bad Duke here. So, Carolina still pretty much a little bit of a roll, if you will, here currently. Won 4 of their last 5, covered 4 of their last 5. The loss was to Duke. The loss against the spread was to Virginia Tech at home, 89-82, but they only lost by half a point as a 7.5-point favorite. Clemson here, just an underdog for the 6th. Oh, let's call her Pick'em. Okay. Carolina 18-13 against the spread overall. Clemson 17-14 against the spread. These two teams did meet back on March the 3rd, just 9 days ago. Carolina won it 67-63 at home. They were a 2.5-point favorite in that one. 10 of the last 13 meetings between the two teams have gone over. However, Clemson has gone under in 10 of its last 15 games. Carolina's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games overall. So let's see what you think here with this one, with Clemson taking on North Carolina here in Charlotte. Conference tournament play. All right. Carolina has won 15 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams overall. Clemson has failed in 4 of their last 6 coming in, but they've won 2 straight over Wake Forest and Georgia Tech. They covered against Wake at home by won by 9, covered 5.5. They did not cover against Tech at home, winning by 3 as a 15.5-point favorite. And before that was the North Carolina game. North Carolina also with wins here recently, wins and covers over Clemson, Louisville, and Syracuse. All right, let's see what you guys think in this one between North Carolina and Clemson here. Clemson is 13 and 18 to the under this season. North Carolina 14 and 17 to the under overall. Like I said, the teams do seem to be trending under. And well, hey, I did go 2-0 going under yesterday in the ACC, so I think I'm willing to do it again here. Give me the under with Clemson and North Carolina. It might be my time of year if you look up and down the conference tournaments there and the over-unders. Yes, there were some overs. There were a lot of unders yesterday. Cal Dogs on the Tar Heels. Timmy Two Shoes says, I got to take Carolina here. And Mr. Weskers, he's on North Carolina. All right, next up here, going to go with Oklahoma taking on Texas A&M. We got some SEC action here. We got some. Wait a minute, isn't this the Big Eight? Isn't this the Southwest Conference? What's going on here? We got OU taking on Texas A&M. Hey, we can still run out these SEC jokes here. Oklahoma comes in the hot team for sure. They are the 11th seed here, but they are currently on a winning streak, 5 straight wins and covers right now for the Sooners. A&M's won a couple in a row. Here with covers over UK and LSU. A&M's 18 and 13 against the spread this season, 10 and 8 against the spread as a favorite. Oklahoma 13 and 18 against the spread, opposite Texas A&M, and they're 7 and 10 against the spread as an underdog. Kind of points to A&M here maybe, but these two teams did meet twice this season, and A&M won them both and covered them both. They won at home 83 to 76 as a 4.5 point favorite, and they won at OU back on February 21st, 75 to 71 as a 1.5 point favorite in that one. 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone under, although Oklahoma's gone over in 7 of their last 10, and A&M's gone over in 4 of their last 6. A&M's 4-2 straight up in their last 6, 3-6 against the spread in their last 9 games overall here currently. Meanwhile, for Oklahoma, they have gone just 4-9 against the spread in their last 13 games against the Aggies. A&M's been a bit of an over here. They're 19 and 12 to the over overall, 11 and 7 to the over as a favorite here. Oklahoma, kind of a 50-50 proposition as far as over-under is concerned with these guys. But look at this total here, 160.5 here in this one. Pretty high for a situation where these two teams have been a constant under here. Both meetings this season did go under. The only over they've actually had here over the last 4 seasons was back in January of last year. It was 80 to 78 in favor of A&M at Oklahoma in a regular season meeting. But other than that, it's been, like I said, under city when these two teams have met. And will that be the case today? This total, has kind of held tight here. In fact, I'm showing it might even be a little higher here right now. Let me see. I believe it snuck up here on us. Is it 162.5 right now? I'm showing some discrepancy here between a few books. I'll call it 161.5. We are seeing a few books at 162.5 and a couple books at 160.5 and a few mixed in at 161. We did have the over yesterday on Night Moves with a winner there again. College, we did a pretty good job, I thought, right? Winner there with the over last night with South Carolina and Oklahoma, as Oklahoma obviously got that win and cover there. It was a pretty big move. It was a subtle move anyway on South Carolina there. And as far, let's see what I'll go to the chat. I'll just go to the chat. All right, the chat says here, hey, you want to say hello in the chat too? Jays Rides and Shine. There, Jay, that I don't know. I don't want to be just Jay's Rides and Shine. Are you involved in? Do you own car washes possibly? Or do you own maybe a detailing company? That sounds like a cool name for a business. Let's see here. Mr. Weskers is on the Sooners here. Andrew K says, don't forget, Ramon said, they said the Big Eight, Southwest Conference, and the Big 12. Don't forget, that's too new. That's too new, Andrew. I'm going back to the old days. Cow Dogs on A&M there. And Andrew says the Big 12 is great, aren't they? And Timmy says maybe on the neutral side it'll be a different result there, I think. All right, and I think that's going to not much. Top Geos here in the chat. Not much for this one, huh? A little bit tricky here. A&M's done a nice job against these guys here of late, winning the games and covering the spread against these guys. It do seem like A&M does kind of have their number. I'm going to take Texas A&M here over Oklahoma at in Nashville. This tournament's in Nashville here this year. All right, and one more. I only have one more, guys. I hope that's okay. But like I said, we'll whittle this down. We're going to have some great action this weekend, getting ready for Tournament Sunday. You know, our job has mostly been done there. All right, AJ, that's fine. Well, hey, we might go into business together here, you know, detailing business, you and I. All right, hopefully we'll just get some winners. Okay, and next up, last one here for me, and hopefully that's okay, you guys. Like I said, a ton of college games to choose from. Got great premium picks from the crew here, and don't forget all of our other shows right now. You're going to get plenty of picks. I'll be on the drive-through tomorrow. I'll come in with some more late action on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. I'll probably go with a college game tomorrow. Who knows? But you know, you have Tony's video preview as well of the games. And don't forget the morning show tomorrow with Tony, and then the drive-through with Rod. There are more college games to be previewed. TCU and Kansas will wrap up my coverage here tonight with KU favored by 5.5, total 142. KU comes in ranked 14th. They're the number 3 seed here at 22-9. They've had some struggles here of late, especially when you're going up against this hot TCU team. They're on a winning streak here for sure right now, and hats off to these guys. The way they're going here is TCU might be the little bit of the talk of the tournament here. It feels like coming in with this strong streak here right now, a winning streak coming in, wins over Oklahoma State, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, Kansas State. They didn't cover in that game last night against Oklahoma State, by the way. It was 95-88. They were favored by 7.5. They just missed it by the hook. So I don't think I'm going to hold it against TCU. I'd still say they're a pretty hot cover coming into this one. But KU's been a good cover too. You know, you think of maybe, oh man, KU been overrated here right now, but they've been getting the money quite a bit this season actually. But TCU 8-2 against the spread as an underdog. They've won 6 straight, covered 5 of their last 6. Kansas is 10-5 against the spread in their last 15 games overall. They've won 11 of those games. Kansas has gone under in 11 of their last 15. TCU's gone under in 5 of their last 7, and 7 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone under. KU is 6-14 to the under as a favorite, 10-21 to the under overall here. Like I said, TCU on a nice roll here right now, covering numbers. I will say they are 13-18 to the under this season, so they're an under team too. But They are 5 overs and 5 unders as an underdog. As a favorite, they're 8-13 to the under. So when they're a dog, they do kind of pump up the tempo a little bit, but Kansas is such a hardcore under right now. Uh, let's see what you got here, though, with this one. I like what TCU's doing, and they've been covering against Kansas as well, although the two teams did meet back in January. They've only met one time this year. It was 104-100 in overtime. In Lawrence, they were 6.5-point favorites in that one. The total was 143. And by the way, going into, even though they finished with 204 points, they went 174 in regulation. In that game. So yes, for all these unders, the regular season game went way over. Now, like I said, 7 of the last 9 have gone under here. This is the only meeting here, but last year we did see some unders, obviously, between the two teams. I think actually they might have went one over last year, 83-81 at KU. The Jayhawks won. I'm just going to take the points. That's what I'm going to do. Give me TCU here to keep this hot streak alive and cover the spread at least 6 points here against Kansas. And let's see what the chat says in this one. Timmy Choo-Choo's likes the under. Mr. Weskers, let's see what he's saying there. He's talking. Wait a minute, Mr. Weskers. Hold on there. Let's see here. He despises TCU. Cal Dog is on Kansas. And Mr. West was talking a little SEC action there with that early game against Missouri in there. All right. And Mr. Wesker says he's going to also take a UConn tomorrow. I don't know, but was it this show I made that comment, or was it maybe another show? I said, I can't believe at this point in my life I like Bobby Hurley better than I do Danny Hurley, when for so many years it was the other way around, especially when they were players. And Timmy Choo-Choo's like in Toledo as well tomorrow. Okay, that's going to be it for. And Moon Man, I think he might be on the Hawks here. Okay, that's it for college, guys, and kind of my apologies. And again, there's just so many games with the pro circuit here right now, and like I said, what are you going to do? I feel like we picked the best games of the late games here a little bit. Quarterfinal rounds, third rounds, you got some double-digit spread in a lot of games. The SEC looks great. What are you going to do? Preview them all? Thanks a lot, everybody. Well, let's go to the ice. There's only another 14 game card on the ice, and we're going to skip a few of them. I think we're going to skip 2 of them. But preview those here on Night Moves here right now. And then that'll be it. So we'll get it done here. We're underway with the Carleton here right now in that Aussie Football League matchup. Hopefully you're with me here, right? We're rolling with Carleton and the under. Just underway, and Carleton already has a goal. It's 7-0. All right, let's see what we got here on the chat. Here we go. Going to start it off here on the ice with the Ducks taking on the Leafs. And this, I'll tell you this, it's not a great, for 14 games, it's not a great betting card, actually. There are just a lot of $2 favorites. Again, remember the other day, we were like, wow, look at all these short favorites here. We look a lot of pick'em games almost the other night. Not tonight. So we'll be moving quickly here, though, so please stay with me right now. Carleton, another goal, 13-0. Okay, here we go with Anaheim taking on Toronto here. Toronto struggling again here, man. It feels like it's toast time for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They'd probably be out of the preview. They'd probably be out of the preview if it wasn't for them playing these hot Ducks right now. Man, the Ducks playing well. Toronto consecutive losses here, just totally struggling. Losing to Montreal last time out. All these are multiple goal losses, pretty much. Montreal, Tampa Bay, the Rangers as well. So, look, Toronto's pretty much toast. They're going to be out of it here. They're not going anywhere. They're in last place. But it's mostly about the Ducks here. We're talking here as they try to hold on right now. And they're playing so well that, Vegas, Edmonton, they throw in these clunkers, and Anaheim continues to kind of get it done. These two teams have not yet met this season. It's been a dominant series in the past for the Toronto Maple Leafs when these two teams have played, but hey, you got Anaheim coming in here on the road playing well. Is this the game Toronto can shake them? Toronto's 11-21 as an underdog this season. They are 16-11 at home. Maybe there's something to it. Anaheim comes in here, won 8 of their last 10. They've lost 5 straight to Toronto, but Toronto's lost 8 straight right now. Toronto has won the last. This sounds like one of those NBA trends. Toronto's won 7 straight games at home against Anaheim, but again, a totally different Anaheim than what we've seen here this year. So can Anaheim keep the momentum going here with Dostal? Is it Dostal and Woll here in this one? There's so many games. I hope I got some of the goalies right anyway. All right, let's hear from you, though, in the chat, and I'll rattle off a few more news and notes here. Anaheim's gone under in 5 of their last 6. They've gone under in 5 of their last 7 on the road. Toronto has gone over in 4 of their last 6 games here. So let's see what you guys have. I'm definitely confident in what I like here in this game. Anybody in the chat? Here we go. Seneke to score here for Timmy Cowdogs on the Ducks. Timmy's on the over here. And Moonman said, oh, yeah. He says, as a Leafs fan this season, it's been a big letdown. He's going to take the Ducks. Dakush King is here. He says both these teams are no good. Man, if the Ducks are no good, that doesn't leave very many teams in the Western Conference here. Anaheim is certainly right now. Maybe the Pacific Division, I'll give that to you, though. Dakush King for sure, right? I mean, the Central Division, if the Ducks were in the Central, they'd be in 4th place. So maybe there is something to that. Nylander for Timmy. And all right, I guess that's going to do it for me here in this one. I'm going to take the Anaheim Ducks on the road. Give me the Ducks here to win at Toronto right now. Next up, we're going to go to the Blues will take on the Hurricanes here. Got a 275 favorite, but still important game for the Hurricanes here. The Blues are toast. They're not going to be able to make it here, but you have Carolina currently leading the Metro Division here pretty comfortably, but I try to cover all playoff teams when we can. For Carolina here, mostly got to look at the puck line, of course, in this one with the Hurricanes, such a big favorite over these Blues. The Blues are still highly competitive here of late. They're probably playing their, still best hockey here. They've had 2 good streaks right now, and this is still one of them. Even though they lost last time out to the Islanders in overtime, they've been hanging in here in every game. They beat the Ducks, they beat the Sharks, they beat the Kraken, they beat the Wild. They're on a good groove here right now. However, they are just 25-29 and overall 25-29-10, 11-17 on the road. They're one of the better puck line underdogs here overall at 32-13. Carolina, meanwhile, is a puck line favorite, 22-37, a pretty good record as well, although they have been struggling of late on the puck line. Carolina is 23-11 to the over at home. And also St. Louis here, 19-26, though, to the under as a dog. Carolina's won 6 straight at home. They've won 8 of their last 10. They've defeated St. Louis in 6 of the last 9 meetings. St. Louis has gone under in 5 of their last 6, including 4 of their last 5 on the road. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. They did play their first meeting in St. Louis. The Blues won 3-0 back on January the 13th. Carolina has gone over, however, in 6 of their last 7 meetings overall. So let's see what you got here. We're not going to belabor it too much, but I'm going to take the St. Louis Blues on the puck line here and say that they continue to play well and can stay within this game. And I think you get an inflated price here with Carolina. As good as they are, St. Louis has definitely been closing the gap here. At least, they're not going to close the gap on the playoffs, but they are hanging here right now. And at minus $1.10, I'm going to take St. Louis on the puck line here, plus a goal and a half. All right, and let's see here. Blues puck line for, hey, Darnell Green is here. Nice to have Darnell. Moonman, though, says just lay that 275 and do it. Also, Timmy says take the Canes team total over. And Cal Dogs with me on the Blues on the puck line. All right, that one sounds pretty good there. Let's move on here right now to our next one. It's going to be the Capitals taking on the Sabres. And look at the Sabres here, a $2 favorite right now, getting that respect on this another great winning streak. The Capitals are tumbling here a little bit right now coming in, actually. Capitals have lost 4 of their last 5. They've lost 6 of their last 7 on the road. They've also lost 5 of the last 6 games to Buffalo. Buffalo's only won 8 straight here right now. They've beaten Washington in 5 straight meetings at home. 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone over. However, Washington's gone under in 8 of their last 10 coming into this one. That hasn't made them necessarily a total under this season, but nonetheless, they are 12-10 to the over as an underdog. Buffalo 16-13 to the over as a favorite. These two teams met back in November, and it was 4-3. Buffalo got the win at home here. Now look, we're looking at a puck line game for sure. You got Washington here, 14-8 as a puck line dog. It's not awful here, but Buffalo 14-15 as a puck line favorite. Oh man, that'll get it done every single time right here. There, when you're a favorite on the puck line, you got that big plus money in most cases here. When you're 14-15, that's going to be highly profitable. Let's see what you have in this one, though. Can the Caps get something going here? They're just falling by the wayside here right now are the Washington Capitals. They're going to be missing the postseason here unless they can really get a winning streak going. Right now, you look at where they stand in the wild card. They are 7 points behind the Boston Bruins here currently. All right, let me go to the chat here on this one. I'm just adjusting the numbers a little bit here. Let's go to the chat in this one. Okay, it's going to be let's see, Cowdog maybe on the under. Sabres can't lose. Just keep riding that train. And I'm going to take a shot here. Timmy Two Shoes will take a shot with the Capitals here in this one. Look, this one's gone up pretty high here. Buffalo, I think, goes as low as $1.75. It's obviously gone up about 25 cents here. But, on the puck line here for Buffalo at plus $1.20, I'm going to go ahead and take Buffalo on the puck line here. This team is on fire. Give me Buffalo here, minus a goal and a half at plus $1.20. I'm going to take the Sabres on the puck line in this one. Darnell Caps on the puck line. Oh, and Obi for a goal there. Timmy says take Capitals over in their team total and parlay that with the Canes. And Andrew says, look, Caps lost last night to the Flyers. I mean, no, he says they're going to be tired. Not only that, I mean, lost that game 4-1 there yesterday. Buffalo, like I said, on a big winning streak here right now again. Wow. And Timmy Chooches, I think he likes both the teams to get 3 goals tonight. That sounds like an over. All right, me and my totals, man, how did I go 0-2 last night? I tried to go over in both games on night moves, and it was 3-1 and 3-2 or something like that. We didn't hit those. So, all right, here we go. Next up. All right, well, we did skip the Calgary Flames and the New Jersey Devils here. Got to draw the line somewhere with these two teams. And look, I'll just mention it real quick. I mean, Calgary right now, I mean, they are 10 points out of the wild card spot there, and same thing for New Jersey right now. They are 13 points out of the spot. So we're going to start dropping some of these games, dropping some of these teams. If you're not having a chance, we got to shorten the show up. Okay, here we go with the Red Wings taking on the Lightning here. The Red Wings are in it. They're leading the wild card chase here currently, up there with Boston. And for the Tampa Bay Lightning, we know where they're at. Here currently, second place in the Atlantic Division. Buffalo's gone right on by. Remember when we were saying, well, the Tampa should hang on? Nope. So do have the Lightning here, another $2 favorite, though, in this one. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of $2 favorites. We might be on some puck lines. Maybe we got to take some totals here. Tampa, though, they've actually had some woes here, 2 straight losses to Buffalo and Columbus. Look, those are tough teams. Tampa's supposed to be better than those teams right now, especially getting ready for the postseason. I mean, those are 2 fellow contenders now. There's just no other way to look at it. I'm not used to saying that this time of year, but Buffalo and Columbus, those teams are contenders. It's a shame if Columbus would miss the playoffs after this great run. They are 2 points out of the wild card, though, so very important game here for oops. I'm sorry about that. I'm on the Red Wings here. Red Wings leading the way here in the wild card, 79 points ahead of Boston and Columbus. I was kind of getting ahead of myself here because we got Columbus coming up, but what I was saying was you do have a lot of these $2 favorites here right now. Detroit, meanwhile, they're coming in off of a loss, 4-3 to Florida. They did beat New Jersey before that, but they've lost 3 of their last 4 games. Still, Detroit, a good road team, 18-11, a pretty decent underdog too, 18-15. They're 23-10 as a puck line underdog, pretty darn good. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay, puck line favorite, 20-33. That's pretty decent here. The 2 teams did meet back in November, and Tampa won 6-3 at Detroit. This total, though, is 6.5 here right now. And let's take a look maybe at some of the trends for these guys coming in, because they have an interesting head-to-head. Detroit's won 6 of the last 9 meetings between the 2 teams overall. Tampa's actually lost 6 of their last 7 overall, but have gone 11-2 in their last 13 at home. Tampa Bay has won 15 of the last 20 meetings when hosting the Detroit Red Wings over the years here. Detroit's gone under in 7 of their last 10, including 5 of their last 7 on the road. Detroit has lost 8 of their last 12 overall. Tampa Bay's gone over in 8 of their last 11 games coming in. However, they've been here, just 15-14 to the over at home. Let's go to the chat here in this one between the Detroit Red Wings and the Tampa Bay Lightning. All right, and see what we have here. What is it? I have it 6.5 under 20, but it may have actually gone down to 6 over. I do want to take a peek at this. No, you know what? Yeah, well, let's see. You got Bovada at 6 under here. I think you got to call it 6 over 20, don't you? I better, because I might, let me at least do this here. So it looks like it has moved under just a little bit here. Yeah, it definitely has. In fact, I'm starting to see it kind of. I'm going to call it six flat. Actually, I'm seeing a pretty significant move actually to the under in this game, and yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of total value in it, but all right, let's see what you got here, though, in this one. I'm going to go ahead and take the under here with Detroit and Tampa Bay. I'll probably take it at 6.5 under 40, actually. I'm kind of worried about it, but give me the under here with Detroit and Tampa Bay. I'll take a total here. All right, and we've got Moonman says give him the under 6.5 there in the Red Wings in Tampa Bay. Like I said, I like that. It's going to be about $1.40 or so, maybe $1.45 right now, and it may only get. Feels like the move is steady to the under here. Red Wings money line here for Cal Dog, Lightning in the over for Darnell, and Jimmy Two Shoes likes Raymond to get an anytime goal. All right, give me the under in that one. Now we'll get to the Blue Jackets here. Like I said, boy, wouldn't it be a disappointment if the Blue Jackets don't make it? Look, they're on the outside looking in right now, but still just 2 points behind here, and you're taking on a Florida team that, they're not going to make it. They are currently 11 points back in the playoff run. It's over. Tore up my Florida futures ticket there, 60 to win 600. Well, there goes that. All right, and that was a few weeks ago. We tore that up. All right, for Columbus here, they're 33, 21, and 10. Florida, 32, 29, and 3. So it's been Columbus's ability to at least earn those points to get at least that 1 point every time. That's made a difference. And that's what hockey's all about, really, especially when you got so many close games this year. You got to make sure that you get out of there. You got to at least get to overtime here. That's something that Florida really has not done very, very well. Florida does come in here off of a couple of wins over Detroit. They played back-to-back games and beat the Red Wings, so a little bit of life here for the Panthers of late. For Columbus, they come in off of a win over Tampa. They've lost 2 of their last 3. They lost to the Kings and to Utah here, but still, Columbus, they are a terrible underdog, and I think they're still an underdog here right now, but it is a closely rated game. So, in fact, I'm showing one book here, VOL, if you know what I mean. They've moved here to Columbus a favorite, so I might ignore the numbers there a little bit as far as favorites are concerned. Columbus is 16 and 13 on the road. Florida's 17 and 14 at home. These two teams, it's been a Florida-dominated series, but the last meeting between the two in just 7 days ago, Columbus finally snapped a losing streak against the Florida Panthers. So maybe they've turned the corner in this particular matchup, because they've always had trouble with Florida over the last few years. While Florida's been a dominant team, they had lost 9 straight games until they beat them last time. Columbus has won 7 of their last 8 on the road and 15 of their last 20 overall. Florida's lost 9 of their last 13 coming in. Now, they have beaten Columbus in 5 straight at home, but like I said, it was a different era. Columbus has gone over in 5 of their last 7. Florida's gone over in 10 of their last 15 games overall. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under, but seems like a lot of overs with these two teams right now. All right, let's see what you have here in this one, man. Can Florida really do it here and finally get a win over Columbus? It feels like, you'd be hard-pressed or fooling yourself to take them here, but still Florida, is a little bit over 500 at home. They've won 2 in a row. I know they were playing the Red Wings here. That Columbus game was 4-2 at Columbus. Can they turn around and get a little revenge here? I don't want to go, against Columbus here, but it does feel like the Florida spot. It's just that they've been such a disappointment here this season. Okay, here we go. Under for Cal Dog Moonman says Columbus team total under, and Timmy, he likes the over in this one. All right, I'm going to be that guy. I'm taking the Florida Panthers tonight. Hey, Columbus, you've been so good to me. I'm going to say that Kachuk and crew get one here, just one game here. I'm going to do it with Florida. I'm going to take – let's look, it's not an upset, although I'm going to move it to a pick 'em on the screen here, I think. I almost feel like that maybe Columbus will be a favorite by game time here, just slightly. I'm going to take the Panthers here over Columbus. Look, Columbus has been good to us, no doubt about it. I'm going to say this one time I'm going to go with the home team. All right, next up, we've got the Sharks taking on the Bruins here. Bruins come in here 38, 36, 22, and 6. Sharks are 30, 26, and 6. Sharks have lost 3 in a row here right now, but still, it's been a good season for the Sharks. They're going to fall short of the postseason here. They are just 1 point behind Seattle, but man, it just feels like they're in a slump here, and I don't know if they're going to be able to quite recover from this. So let's see, though, what you have here in this one between the Sharks and the Bruins here. The Bruins are also in their own playoff battle. They're currently in at 78 points. So both these teams are teetering on the edge of the playoffs. If any game had some real significance, a lot of these games we have one team in the playoffs, one team out. This one really is kind of a playoff intensity, or should be anyway. These two teams have to know, playing an equal, similar team here right now. Both teams needing wins to try to solidify their position right now. Boston has been on this incredible home streak right now. They have just been crushing at home here. How many in a row is it now at home? Is it 13 straight wins at home? Oh man, it's so many I almost forgot by now. These guys are totally home road dichotomy here with this incredible home winning streak. Basically never losing at home. $1.60 kind of impresses you here against this San Jose team that has lost 3 in a row right now. Boston is 25-8 at home this season. San Jose 13-16 on the road here. So look, I think Boston's going to be able to get this win. $1.60 is a little bit pricey. I don't think I like it on the puck line at all, although I will say Boston 10-13 as a puck line favorite. That isn't bad. San Jose 37-18 as a puck line dog. That'll get it done too. Although I think the record for Boston as a puck line favorite a little bit more impressive, and especially if you want to lay it here with Boston. I mean, you're getting plus $1.45, but I'm going to take the money line on this one with Boston Bruins to keep it going here against San Jose. This incredible winning streak at home is probably going to be just enough to get Boston in the postseason. They've won 13 of their last 17 overall. 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone under, including their first meeting this year was at San Jose. It was 3-1 in that game. So last season when the teams met here in Boston, it was 6-3 in favor of Boston in a high-scoring game in that one. San Jose has lost 8 straight times here in Boston. Yes, San Jose is a different team right now than they were maybe in a lot of those games. They still haven't quite gone over the hump. Go to the playoffs would be, and look, I feel like it's going to be good things to come again for San Jose in the future. They've lost 14 of 16 overall to Boston, and they've also lost 5 in a row on the road in 8 of their last 11. So San Jose, they were making a good run. I just don't feel – I feel like they're going to end up short. I'm not kicking them out of the playoffs yet. Like I said, I said that they're not going to make it as a prediction, not necessarily. They're in it. That they got to win games, and they got to win games like this right now. Maybe they're winnable. But is it really when you're talking about how hot Boston is? Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Moreman says Boston hasn't lost at home in forever. Timmy likes the over here. Timmy says too many unders for Boston right now this year, right? Is that what you mean? And Cal Dog says should be an over game. And let's see, Timmy says he's got to take Graf for a point. All right. Hey, Alex Morales. Nice to see Alex in here. He wants me to take a nap. I'll tell you what, one of those games, a couple of those late games are kind of putting me to sleep earlier for a little nappy poo. All right. And here's Andrew. He likes a little prop action in there as well. Thank you, guys. Good one there. All right. Hey, you know what? We did, got to tell you, got to be honest here. We did skip over another one here. The Rangers and the Jets. You know, the Rangers are in last place. The Jets are still breathing. They're 5 points out, but they've got to pass up basically three different teams that are kind of clear of them right now. Talking about the Predators, Sharks, and Kings, and the Kraken too have 67 points. Utah's looking pretty good. We'll preview them in just a moment, but got to cut some here, and I'm going to say the Jets are going to miss the playoffs. So, all right, next up for me then will be, we got playoff bound teams. So let's get into this one with the Oilers and the Stars. We've got a good matchup here with Edmonton coming in here off of a pair of wins right now. Edmonton with wins over Colorado and BGK. Dallas also with win over BGK, and they also beat Chicago. Dallas is playing pretty well here. You know, Edmonton was having those struggles, giving up all those goals. All the games are still going over with Edmonton right now, but Edmonton currently 3 points behind Anaheim in the Pacific. For Dallas here, they're kind of entrenched in second place, 3 points clear of Minnesota, 5 points short of Colorado here, but Dallas on a flat-out roll here right now. Like I said, they did lose to Colorado a couple of games back, 5-4 in a shootout, but that was their only true loss or partial loss. Still got the point there. And Edmonton definitely putting it back together here a little bit just when they need to. It seems like they get those goals. That's what kept happening the other night too. I thought when they beat Colorado the other night, right? Every time Colorado would kind of come back, the Edmonton Oilers, those were two good wins for Edmonton, a team that had been definitely giving it up here, especially with the poor defense. For them to get wins on the road against Colorado and BGK, it really spark some life into this Edmonton team right now. Edmonton's won 4 of their last 6, but Dallas has won 12 of their last 13, 8 of their last 9 at home. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. They've already met twice this season. The Stars did win them both, including here at home 4-3 in early November. Late November, Stars won in Edmonton 8-3. Yeah, that's what keeps happening in some of those Edmonton games. Edmonton's gone over in 6 of their last 8, including 4 of their last 6 on the road, and Dallas has gone over in 4 of their last 5. 4 of the last 5 in the series have gone over as well. We talked about Edmonton as an underdog, 8-1-1 to the over here. Now you're looking at a game here at 6.5, heavily juiced to the over, just because that's what happens with Edmonton, right? Remember when Dallas would always be an under team kind of at home. They're still an under team for the most part, 14-17 to the under at home here right now. So let's see what you've got though in this one with Dallas taking on Edmonton here. Edmonton playing well, and can they get one here? Let's see what we got. All right, here we go with Alex says, what's the best bet tomorrow? I'll give it to you right now. Stand by. Let's see here. Timmy says, let's see. Cal Dog's on the Stars, and Timmy's on the Stars here. Could be a likely overtime. Moon Man is on the Stars. And Timmy says you got to go over. He says it's going to be 3-3. It's going to go overtime, and that's what's going to happen here. You'd think it probably would. The way this is going here right now, Edmonton continues to give it up, but like I said, I'm really I'm impressed that Edmonton were able to get those wins. They played a tough schedule here of late, playing San Jose, Ottawa, Carolina, BGK, but Dallas also have been very, very strong here of late. All right, I'm going to make my call. Let's make it the best bet here in this one between Edmonton and then where'd the banner go here? I'm sorry. There we go. And, look, it might not be Ingram in there, I think. Let me see here. I thought they said, let me look here. I believe it could be Yari. I think Yari is going to be in there in this one. So, all right, I think that's it. I'm gonna actually refresh the goalies here and see if we got anything. I know it's pretty early here yet, but all right. No, I guess that's I guess that's it for that one, huh? Yeah, we don't really have not many goalies confirmed here yet at 5 in the morning Eastern time here, but see, I thought we had one or two anyway. No, not really. Okay, well, all right. Give me the Stars here in this one at home. I'll take Dallas here at a decent price. I think Edmonton's hot streak is kind of keeping this cheap. You still got a Dallas team here, pretty much taking care of business. Credit to Edmonton for a couple of road wins here, but this is the third straight road game here right now. They've already gotten 2 wins. Give me Dallas in this one. All right, here, and Alex says, what is the Edmonton money line? Edmonton on the money line, about to pick them here right now, but I'm going to go with Dallas. And thank you, Alex. And Warman says it's got to be Yari here. All right, here we go. Next up, I'm definitely previewing this one here with the Flyers and the Wild going off in this one. Got the Flyers here on the road. They're 30-23-11. Minnesota 38-16-11. Minnesota playing pretty well here. 3 wins in their last 4 games. Playing well in all those games. The only loss was to Colorado on the road in that 4-game span here right now for Minnesota here. Minus 225 on these Flyers. Flyers do come in off of a win over Washington. They've been alternating wins and losses here of late. Philadelphia has actually won 5 of their last 7 overall, but Minnesota's won 5 of their last 6 at home and 9 of their last 12 games overall coming in. For Philadelphia, 5-1 in their last 6 games against the Minnesota Wild. 10 of the last 14 games for Philadelphia on the road have gone over, but 9 of their last 11 overall have gone under. Feels like these are 2 over teams for the most part. 4 of the last 6 meetings have gone over. Minnesota has gone under in 4 of their last 5, but they are 21-16 to the over as a favorite, and Philadelphia is 26-18 to the over as a dog. On the puck line here, Minnesota 12-25 as a puck line favorite. That's about average here, what you want. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, 30-14 is a puck line underdog. Also pretty decent there. Might be worth a shot, but let's see what you guys think here in this one. At Philadelphia and Minnesota, hey, we're making good time here. Show's almost over right now. And in this one, I know these teams are going over here a little bit, but I'm going to go under in this one, actually. They played back earlier this season in the first meeting, and it was 2-1. Philadelphia won the game at home. I'm going to go under the 6 goals here. I believe it's 6 under 15 right now. Philadelphia is going under, like I said, in several games right now. 9 and 11 to the under. Yeah, they've been a bit of an over team on the road here, but Minnesota also with some unders here of late. 5-0 over Utah. They just won. They lost to Colorado in that game 3-2. The VGK game went for 6 goals. The Tampa Bay game did go 5-1, but it still was an under when they beat Tampa Bay here the other night. So I'm going to take the under in this one with the Flyers and the Wild. All right. Hey, end of the first period on my Carlton and under there. It's 40-21. Carlton winning. All right, here we go. And Wild on the puck line here for Cal Dog. Wild puck line and under for Darnell. Wild in regulation for Mormon. And Timmy says take Zuccarello and the Wild money line for even money. Thanks, guys. I've still got a few more here on the ice. Only if they would play, stop doing 2 games in 14 games, 2 games in 14 games. Blackhawks and Mammoth here in Utah. Got another $2 line, though. What can you say? Utah coming in 34, 26, and 5. Look, they played great, but you know what? Chicago's been just fine. They have lost 3 of their last 4. They're coming in off of a win, though, over this Utah team, 3-2, and they've had their number for whatever reason. These 2 teams just played in Chicago a couple of nights ago. Chicago beat Utah for the 3rd straight time. This is a series that Chicago, before it was Arizona, but Chicago's won 4 of the last 5 meetings between these 2 teams. Now Chicago has lost 11 of 14. They've lost 7 of their last 8 on the road. Utah's won 5 of the last 7 meetings between these 2 franchises here in Utah. Utah's also won 7 of their last 10 overall. But, you look at the puck line here. Chicago's still 40-20 as a puck line dog. Utah's a good puck line favorite, an okay puck line favorite, 16-26. Like I said, you want to be over 35% really as a puck line favorite. So Utah's been just fine in that role. Utah, though, coming in off a couple of losses. Now, Chicago just played Utah. They have not played a game since then. Chicago also beat Utah back on March 1st, 4-0. So Chicago's won the last 2 games, but Utah did play Minnesota there 2 nights ago. So even though Chicago had an extra day off, Utah did have to squeeze a game in there, and they've actually been a little bit busier on the schedule here anyway. So, hey, maybe that'll affect things for you here. Chicago's gone under in 6 of their last 8. Mammoth have gone under in 5 of their last 6. 4 of the last 6 meetings between these 2 teams have gone under here. So what do you think here? It looks like Knight and Vemilka here right now. The Blackhawks just seem to have their number here, being able to hang in there in these games right now every time, at least with this club. Now the puck line here for Chicago is minus $1.35, but kind of want to go with them here actually. Give me the Blackhawks plus the 1.5 against Utah. Look, Chicago, we know they're not going anywhere this year. Even in comparison to a team like San Jose or whatever, when you think of where Chicago stands with their young superstar, it doesn't feel like they're growing as much like those other teams. But I'm going to take them here in this one. They're not going to the postseason, but I'll take them here. Utah, it feels like they're pretty much in. All right, a few comments from the chat. All these $2 lines today, says Cal Dog, right? Cal Dog's on the over. Timmy's got a prop here in this one. All right, and Andrew says, bring back the Seattle Pilots. Remember when the hockey team, they didn't want to call them the totems in the hockey like they used to be. Okay, next up, got a few more here. I've got 3 more because we got teams still alive here. Predators and Canucks. Now, the Predators, I'm giving them a big chance. I got to talk about them still. They're 1 point behind here currently of the Seattle Kraken. So the Predators are definitely in this situation here. They've won 2 of 3 coming in. Beat Seattle, beat Boston, did lose to Buffalo. They're 11-6 against the spread as a favorite this year. That's pretty good for Nashville, huh? Vancouver here, we know how miserable they've been. They've just lost again here. They're not scoring any goals. They lost to Winnipeg and Ottawa. Who did they beat? They beat Chicago among here recently. But for Nashville here, they've lost 6 of their last 9 overall. They've lost 10 of the last 15 to Vancouver, but Vancouver's lost 5 straight at home. They've lost 9 of their last 10 overall, and even though it's been a Vancouver series, they've actually lost 4 of the last 5 at home to this franchise. Nashville's gone under in 6 of their last 8 and 4 of their last 5 on the road, and Vancouver has gone under in 5 of their last 7 meetings, actually, with Nashville coming into this one. I think it's Saros and Lankinen here right now, and you know I love Nashville pretty much, but look at this price. Is it really $1.60? This thing opened much, much lower at a couple of books, but I'm still willing to take them here right now, and I'm going to take the Nashville Predators on the road. I guess I'll just take the money line. I got a couple of $1.60s in here today, but that's all right. I'm going to have to do it here with Nashville. I think they get this win on the road against lowly Vancouver. All right, let's see here. Pred's easy. Yep, says Moon Man. And let's see here. Forsberg for Timmy. And the Moon Man says says the Canucks are the real tankathon team here right now, right? Yeah, I mean they're clearly they've cleared the last place scenario there. We're down here right now, to the basically the last 17, 18 games in this season right now. Vancouver just won 6-3 in their last 10. Okay, and let's see here. Nashville for Cal Dog. All right, got to keep it moving here. We're almost done. Thanks, you guys. Good show. Avalanche and Kraken. We got to touch on this one for sure. We got 2 teams battling it out here in the West. Avalanche, top team in the West, 95 points here right now for the Kraken. They are in that number 2 wild card slot. They're technically tied on points with the Kings, but I think Seattle does have a little bit of the upper hand here with the tiebreaker currently. For Colorado here, they had a winning streak snapped last time out. They were hot, lost to Edmonton in that game, but still strong as ever. 20-6 on the road for Colorado. Looking at a puck line game here, obviously Colorado 32-30 as a puck line favorite. Seattle 37-18 as a puck line dog. So Colorado maybe the upper hand with the stats there in that one, but you're not going to fault Seattle. They've been able to play well here against this team in this one. Colorado's owned the series, no doubt about it. Over the years here with Seattle, Colorado's won 5 straight times here in Seattle. 13 of the last 18 meetings between these 2 teams have gone under. Seattle has dropped 5 of 7 coming in. Colorado's won 5 straight on the road. They're 5-1 overall in their last 6 games. So Colorado picking up some steam here again right now. I think they'll probably be able to probably win and cover this one, actually. I might even take the puck line with the Avalanche tonight. Give them to me on the puck line. Look, we love Seattle. But, man, Colorado looking good. This is a series that they do kind of dominate. They already won on the puck line already 3 straight times. Colorado's won on the puck line here, including the only meeting this year, 5-3 here in Seattle in December. I'm going to take Colorado on the puck line at -1.5 at plus $1.20. All right, and we've got here Timmy liking the under, and Moonman going with me here. He likes the puck line there, or I'm going with him. Eberly for Timmy Two Shoes. Cal Dog also on that abs puck line. One more tonight, and the show will be over. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. It felt like a good show. You know, sometimes I'm hard on myself and I complain, but hey, all these games, good job. Hey, hopefully we get another undefeated there. Like I said, when it win at 6-0 there in the NBA, give a little more confidence here. All right, Vegas here. They've lost. Oh, where's the graphic here? Vegas has lost to 3 in a row here right now to Minnesota, Edmonton, and Dallas. Not the easiest of schedules. They've been playing a lot of tough teams here of late. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, they've been struggling too. They're coming in off a loss to Carolina 5-4, although it wasn't a shootout. Vegas $1.45 here. Pittsburgh did beat Boston at home, of course, and Pittsburgh's just a terrific road team this season. 16-8 here on the road. Vegas 14-10 at home, but you know, here $1.45 in this one. You got Akira Schmid, you've got Skinner here in this one right now. Vegas has lost 6 of their last 7 games overall coming in. The only win they had was against Detroit. Like I said, they played some tough teams. They hung in there against Dallas. They hung in there against the Buffalo, but Pittsburgh, they've lost 4 of 5. Now, they have beaten Vegas in 7 of the last 10 meetings overall, but they're just 2-5 here in Vegas. So this is a home-dominated series. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. Pittsburgh just won at home against Vegas in the first meeting back on the 1st of March, 5-0, if you remember that one. So what do you think here in this one with Pittsburgh and Vegas tonight? I think it could be, some books are listing the other goalies entirely here, Silovs and Hill. So we'll see there in this one. I'm going to want to take Pittsburgh in this game, actually, against Vegas tonight. I'm going to do it. Give me the Penguins. I got to take one dog here, and I'm going to make it the Pittsburgh Penguins right now. Give me the Pens on the road against the Vegas Golden Knights here tonight. Okay, I think we got some chat pros ready to go on this one. Dorofayev and Chinnikov there for Timmy Two Shoes on a parlay. Cow Dogs on the over. And that's going to do it there, I think. Andrew K. loves his Seattle Supersonics, doesn't he? You know who my favorite guy was, Andrew, was Jack Sikma, because I remember watching those games when they'd show them on CBS late night, and they, you know, back in the day they used to play. If you wanted to watch the NBA game, you had to, you know, make sure you didn't watch the sports segment on the late local news, because the NBA on CBS was on at 11:30 at night on the West Coast, and the game was on tape delay. And my mom, I'd watch the game, and my mom said, "I don't like Jack Sikma. He's too ugly." It's going to do it here for Night Moves. That's going to do it here. A great show, you guys. Great help as well. I think we got a lot of winners here, so better be back here tomorrow for a great time with me here. Hey, don't forget, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and hey, come on, roll with me here tomorrow. I just went 6-0 on the show for you here on basketball yesterday. And look, I've had a little slump here this start of the week. And but still, you look at my numbers here overall, pretty consistent. Up 5 units in the NBA, up 3 units in soccer. I'm up in tennis as well. There in college baseball, I think we're getting going here right now. So make sure you join me over at Tony'sPicks.com and check out all of our handicappers over at Tony's Picks. Check on the Premium Picks tab. You can see all of our top packages up there right now for the action here. On Thursday, you got Shane's NBA Play of the Month going off tomorrow. You got Kevin Thomas with his NBA Thursday Pristine Best Bet. You also have here DeAndre's Thursday Best Bet, Chris's NBA Slam Dunk up there as well. So all of our guys, Al's got a prop in hockey ready to go here as well for all of our top premium plays. Hollywood Sam's got a 3-pack there in the NHL. Ron's got a prop as well in the NHL. David Racy's got a college basketball winner early on. So check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off all premium pick packages. Don't forget to check out Tony's show. And look, it's ready to go.
This is Tony T here from Tony'sPicks.com with our
watch it. Thank you, Tony. There it is. Ready to go with his action there. So thanks for joining us here on Night Moves. We'll be back tomorrow at hopefully 3 a.m. Eastern, midnight Pacific. And we got a great group of chat pros here that really keep it going here. Thanks a lot, everybody. All right, that's going to do it here. And for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas. We'll see you tomorrow.